Before I get into this video, I just want to say I'm super excited because I'm finally back on the PC. So no more ghetto ass phone uploads. No more ghetto ass phone uploads. Finally, let's get on with the video. So it seems that Deontay Wilder will be facing a recycled opponent named Luis Ortiz. It seems that they're going to have a rematch later on this year. That's no surprise to me. That's no surprise to me at all. I mean, I made a video letting you guys know that the reason Luis Ortiz ducked Anthony Joshua was because Uncle Al Haymon did not allow Luis Ortiz to fight Anthony Joshua because Uncle Al Haymon owns Luis King Kong Ortiz. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you. I made a video that I titled Haymon Planned Everything. Luis Ortiz forced to fight Deontay Wilder for $500K next. As you can see, I uploaded this video on April 27th, 2019. This was literally the same week that Luis Ortiz and his team and his whole team said that, you know, Eddie Hearn lowballed Luis Ortiz, their team, and, you know, they were acting like Eddie Hearn was offering them $100K, but then we found out that it was actually $7 million, and then we found out that they were trying to get $10 million out of the fight. So I made a video that very same week telling you guys that Al Haymon is the reason that Luis Ortiz did not fight Anthony Joshua on June 1st. Al Haymon is the reason that Luis Ortiz turned down a fight and a life-changing payday for Anthony Joshua, because Al Haymon, from the start of this year, was planning on having Deontay Wilder have a rematch with Luis King Kong Ortiz. These are facts. And now that this fight is being basically, it looks like confirmed, this just proves my point that I was telling the fucking truth. I told you guys that the reason Al Haymon did not want to have Ortiz fight Anthony Joshua was because if it would make Deontay Wilder look bad if Anthony Joshua was able to do a better job against Ortiz. B, Deontay Wilder needed a credible opponent. Deontay Wilder needed a credible opponent. And you know, when it comes to Al Haymon and the PBC, they love having in-house fights. That's why Al Haymon always has his welterweights fighting each other. You notice that? It's always the same dudes fighting each other who fight on the PBC. That's why Deontay Wilder fights all the PBC heavyweights, right? Like Gerard Washington, who's from the PBC. Like Arthur Spilka, who was a PBC fighter. Like Luis Ortiz was a PBC fighter. Like Dominic Brazil was a PBC fighter. The guy fights nothing but PBC fighters. And I told you guys, they needed a credible fight for Deontay Wilder. They needed a credible fight. So if Al Haymon would have allowed Luis Ortiz to fight Anthony Joshua and then, like, say Anthony Joshua destroyed Luis Ortiz, well, that just fucked up the in-house credible opponent, doesn't it? Because people are going to be like, I don't want to see that fight now. Ortiz just got knocked the fuck out against Anthony Joshua. We want to see Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, right? So this is why Al Haymon blocked Ortiz from fighting Anthony Joshua, because he was saving him for what you would call the Deontay Wilder rematch. Okay, now what I'm curious to know is how much Luis Ortiz is going to receive, because remember, he was going to receive a career high payday of $7 million against the Anthony Joshua. So I'm curious to that's what I'm really curious about, is how much he's going to receive against Deontay Wilder, because we know in the first fight he got a lowball offer of $500,000. You know, they talk about Eddie Hearn giving them a lowball offer, but I'm telling you right now, Al Haymon gave Luis Ortiz a lowball offer, because $500K is absolute trash compared to what Eddie Hearn was offering Luis Ortiz. All right, so that's a lowball offer. You know, but people want to say Al Haymon and the PBC treat their fighters good. They treat their fighters good, baby. They didn't treat Ortiz good. So I'm curious to see how much he's getting offered because people are saying, well, maybe he's gonna get offered more with fighting Deontay Wilder than he would have received had he fought Anthony Joshua. And homie, I highly doubt that. They didn't feel Ortiz was worth $500K. I mean, was worth $1 million 15 months ago. You think they're gonna feel that he's worth $7 million now? Do you honestly believe that Haymon is gonna pay Luis Ortiz $7 million or $8 million to fight Deontay Wilder in a rematch when he fucking lost? When he hasn't done anything jack shit since losing to Deontay Wilder in the first fight? No, he's not gonna do that. He's probably gonna, maybe if he does pay him more, I'll be shocked if it's over 1.5 million. It's probably gonna be around 1.2 million. The bottom line is he's not gonna get more money than he would have received fighting Anthony Joshua. Now, what do I think of this fight? What I will say is this: the first fight was highly exciting. Okay, it really was. But we have to keep in mind that Luis Ortiz is a senior citizen. He's old. He was old back then. I made a video before Luis Ortiz fought Deontay Wilder the first time, calling Luis Ortiz old, saying how much of a threat is a 39-year-old heavyweight. How much of a threat is a 39-year-old heavyweight? I made a video 2 years ago saying how much of a threat is a 39-year-old heavyweight. Luis Ortiz fought Deontay Wilder, 14 months ago, right? He's even older now, right? I called him an old man back then. I said Deontay Wilder was going to beat Luis Ortiz. I said if Deontay Wilder lost to Luis Ortiz, I would delete my channel. That's how fucking confident I was in Deontay Wilder's ability to beat Luis Ortiz 14 months ago. So what do you think that I'm going to say now? I'm 100% picking Deontay Wilder to beat Luis Ortiz again. Because now he has the confidence that he could beat Luis Ortiz. Going into that first fight, he was, he had confidence, but he was still probably doubting himself. Could I actually beat this guy? But now he knows he could beat Luis Ortiz. He knows what Luis Ortiz is about. He's faced Luis Ortiz already. He knows what he has to offer. So Deontay Wilder is gonna, and he's beaten him already. So Deontay Wilder's gonna go into this fight even more confident than he did in the first fight, and he will knock out Luis Ortiz. And Luis Ortiz will be sitting in Cuba in his house after he gets knocked out. As a matter of fact, I actually picked Deontay Wilder to knock out Luis Ortiz in quicker fashion. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if this fight goes less than 4 rounds. I'm telling you right now, Luis Ortiz will get knocked out quicker than he did in the first fight. In the first fight, I believe he got knocked out in 10 rounds. Oh baby, this time Wilder is even more confident and he's figured him out. He will knock out Luis Ortiz faster. And I'm telling you right now, when Luis Ortiz gets knocked out, because this is it. After he gets knocked out against Deontay Wilder, he's never going to fight for a championship belt. His career is over. He's going to be fighting nothing but mediocre fights, making $100K payday for the rest of his career until he retires, which is not going to be, which is not too far from now. It's going to happen soon because he's already like 49 years old. But when he gets knocked out against Deontay Wilder and he's sitting down somewhere in Cuba with his wife, he's going to be thinking to himself, man, I could have made $7 million against Anthony Joshua, got knocked out against him, but hey, I would have made that $7 million. But instead, here I am, having gotten only paid $500K against Deontay Wilder in the rematch. I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I told you guys back then he was going to regret ducking Anthony Joshua for Deontay Wilder, and it's going to happen because he will get knocked out against Deontay Wilder. Luis Ortiz is not going to improve, all right? He's still the same old fighter he was back then. He's just even older now and slower, all right? So this is a cherry-picked, recycled fight, to be honest with you. That's what it is. It's a recycled in-house fight that everyone already saw. And there's probably going to be people out there saying, oh, my God, Deontay Wilder. He's a real champion. Look at what he did. He fought Luis Ortiz. There's going to be some Deontay Wilder dick suckers actually going out here trying to say that, look at what the real champion Deontay Wilder does. He fighting Luis Ortiz. You see, Joshua could have fought Luis Ortiz in June 1st, but he ducked him. These people, I'm guarantee you there's going to be some idiot boxing fans saying that shit. When we all know damn well that it was Luis Ortiz to turn that fight down. Because he didn't want that Joshua smoke. Because Ortiz did not want that Joshua smoke. I'm telling you, man. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. A cherry-pick fight for Deontay Wilder. A foregone conclusion. We already know what's going to happen. Wilder's going to win all day, baby. Anyway, guys, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed it too. I'm out.